Aloha, this is Purple Spirit Healing with Lali, and I'm Lali, where we talk about spirituality and healing for daily life. To talk about how I do readings. Before I get started, please subscribe down below, the like button, and get the reminder so the next video that comes up you'll be notified right away. I enjoy all of the comments that you have put on the previous videos. Please, as I go through, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below and I will reply. So what we're going to talk about today is how I do readings. The services that I provide is online intuitive readings and Reiki sessions, Reiki healing. So what I'm going to talk about a little bit of channeling versus intuition and psychics versus being a medium. So I consider myself to be an intuitive medium. So what that means is I use all of my abilities to get some messages from spirit. So channeling means that I am talking and conversing and receiving messages from spirit from the other side. People who have passed on, whether they be my spirit guides, interdimensional beings, your relatives that have passed that are now in heaven. And the other way I use my abilities is my intuition. That is connecting to my higher self. So that's not necessarily talking to people from the other side, but it's just working with my inner knowing and using my crown chakra, my third eye chakra, and all of my intuition abilities that I have within me. So being a psychic versus being a medium. Psychic primarily works with your intuition, and it's not working from channeling somebody from the other side. The medium portion is. So the medium can be a psychic, but a psychic might not necessarily be also a medium. And it all depends on what label you're comfortable with. I hate having to use labels, but it is a way to describe what you do. So I consider myself an intuitive medium. I use my intuition, but I also channel, meaning I'm a medium, with people in spirit, with my spirit team, my guides, angels, archangels, and Jesus sometimes when he feels like popping in. The spiritual tools I use, quite a few. So I use oracle cards like these. I am also using tarot decks. I don't have as many, but I use those also. And I use, where is it? Distance gap by geographical location. And there's no time gap because there's no real time once you're on the other side. So the session with me for an intuitive reading opens up with an opening prayer. I call in my guides, I call in my angels, I ask for protection from Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and Saint Germain. Those three I love. It's kind of a great package for me, and that's how Spirit knows that I'm ready to work. I also wear a certain number of my bracelets that I like to use with my crystals, and I'll talk about those later, but that is also an indication of me raising my vibration and letting Spirit know that I'm getting ready to work. And so I'm calling them in. I said, it's time. So this is a Super 7. You got to look that up. I'm not going to explain it. Angelite, Lepidolite. Lepidolite is awesome for connecting and opening up your third eye. The other thing that I do is I connect to my spirit team, and then I start talking to the client. You know, what kinds of things do they want clarity on? Is it work? Is it future career aspirations? Is it family? Is it health issues? Whatever it is. So I will start asking those questions and then see what I get. Sometimes I don't go into the cards right away, depending on what is needed for the client and what my intuition tells me. So I kind of let my intuition guide me as far as what deck to use. Sometimes I get that information before the session even starts. I get an idea. And I also start working with your family members ahead of time, because I like my spirit guides to let them know, your relatives, if they would like to come in, this is how I receive messages. This is how I work. So my guides, and some of them are my gatekeepers also, so they only allow the high vibrational loving beings to come into my energy space. So I am very protected. You are very protected, because they're going to help you too. And my guides, my team, works with your team. So they kind of create this little team, this co-teaming thing happening, and they become one consciousness and work together. There isn't one being the leader. There isn't one doing the most talking. They come together and merge as one consciousness, which is so amazing. And when I feel that happening, it's exciting, and it makes me love what I do. So we start asking the questions. At a certain point, I will start working with my cards, depending on which ones I am drawn to work with. And then at a certain point, my guides will start bringing in your family members. And it might be the ones that you want, and it might not be the ones that you want. Keep in mind that our family members are going to have the same personality, the same traits that they had when they were here in the physical. So if they were quiet and shy here, they're going to be quiet and shy in spirit. If they were very noisy or loud or very high-strung or had a lot of jokes or was the person who led the conversation, they're going to be that way in spirit too. So their personality really shines through. So I'd like to first ask my guides. What my guides do is they set up this nice little seating area for your family to sit in. And so they sit on the couch, and my guides explain how it's going to go. So for some of your relatives, they've never done this before. So it's kind of a learning experience for them too. So they learn how I communicate. I ask them to bring a family photo album, and we start going through the photo album together. And I ask them to show me some really important parts in your lives together, to validate this is that person coming through, and to validate some important pieces or events in life that you need clarity on or that you would like to talk about. So they're going to show me a picture of it, and so I'm going to be able to see it. And sometimes it's just short little video. Sometimes I see action, but it's usually photos. So I like to look at the photo album, and they're showing me, okay, this is important. This is what I want you to talk about. And they'll give me emotions and trigger words that I can share to give you the client some memories. Okay, they want to talk about this, or your uncle really liked to fish, or your grandpa really liked to barbecue. I'm smelling barbecue. Things like that. So that's how they're going to come through for you. And then you can start asking your questions. And it's always in a loving way. Spirit never will say things that are going to be painful or hurtful or make you angry. I always ask for messages that will serve you to your highest good. I don't want to be the person that's going to give you the bad news. We have enough in that in life, We don't need that in here to have your reading with me. Sometimes it's going to be messages that maybe you didn't want to hear that will have some deep emotional reactions, but sometimes that's your way to heal. Sometimes you need the healing. I now also offer an angel intuitive session where we can work with angel energy, and you can get to know your guardian angel and learn how to work with them on a daily basis, as well as getting to know archangels. It's a beautiful, loving, supportive energy, and it has been just an amazing journey and experience learning to work with angel energy. So if you are interested in doing that kind of reading, it would be so much fun. It's on my website, so visit there. So what is Reiki anyway? I wanted to briefly go over Reiki energy healing and what it is, where it came from. So the word is actually a Japanese word, but it actually has origins way, way before that. But we'll go over what the word means. Rei, R-E-I, is translated as natural spirit or the holy gift. Ki, K-I, is the energy or feeling. So putting them together, Reiki is the universal life force. It was discovered by Mikao Usui in Japan in the mid-1800s. It was a healing modality, Chi. It is called prana. In my native Hawaiian language, it is called mana. So once you book your Reiki session with me, I do a chakra scan. So the way I do that remotely is I use a piece of paper as a proxy, and I do my prayer, and I ask your higher self to allow your energy to be put into this piece of paper so that I may do a chakra reading. And I use my handy dandy beautiful pendulum. I have 3 now, but I use 2 primarily. So I use one specifically for chakras, and I use another one for different kinds of readings. So this is the one that I use to do your chakra reading, and I hover it over the parts of the body of your chakras, and I ask the pendulum, this one's name is Mana, and I ask, is the chakra open or is the chakra closed? So the pendulum will rotate one way if it's closed. It will rotate the one way if it's open. It'll stay still if the chakra is blocked. So I will indicate that on my map, on my paper, and then we review it during your reading, because sometimes that takes time, and I don't want to take your time of your Reiki session with me just trying to figure out your chakras. So I do that for you ahead of time, and then I share the results, and then based on what areas you want to work on, we will go from there. After our opening prayer and protection first, and then we start talking about you, your life, things that you really enjoy that's happening in your life, things that you would like to improve on, and what you want to get out of your reading. I really want to know what type of end result you would like to see, so that I can give you some accurate insight of what can and can't be done within the time frame of the Reiki session. An hour is all that your body can handle, so that you can integrate all of what's going on, all the energy changing and the healing that's going on. You can only do a little at a time, because your body needs to adjust to the change of energy, what I'm giving you and what I'm pulling out. So there could be times I'm pulling out some pain, pulling out some negative energy from childhood, from past lives, and that can be very emotional. And so what I also do is replace it with healing, positive, loving energy. So that takes time. And I also want to be well aware and understand how open you are as the client to releasing the pain, releasing past trauma and old habits, and ready to change and do something new. Because if in your heart you're not ready to release certain things, then you're not going to heal those areas. So I'll give you an honest review and an honest insight of what I'm feeling and seeing, and let you know what I can relieve for the session. I can't relieve everything, but I can get as much done as possible. And I like to be very honest about what I'm able to do within the time frame and what I feel your body is allowing me to do, because it is a collaboration. It is a team effort with my guides and your guides, your higher self, and your physical body, what your physical body is able to heal at that moment. And it's different for everybody. So don't expect yourself to be a complete 360 change in one session. For some things, yes, but not all things. Because sometimes we have a lifetime of baggage, a lifetime of pain, and sometimes you have to go over things more than once for our conscious mind to really understand, yeah, I really don't need this. I'm really ready to let that go. And it takes time for us to get our minds wrapped around it and accept. So the other part I want to go over is how to prepare for a reading. For either one, for the Reiki session or an intuitive reading, please drink lots of water. The day of, eat light, no big heavy meals, not a lot of protein, very little to no sugar products, no soda. Plain water or teas would be preference, because I want to keep your body as clean as possible, especially for the Reiki, but also for the readings, because it's important for you to keep your mind and heart open as possible to receive. Because a lot of times when I'm working with a person, if your heart is not open to receiving messages, then it's really hard for me to read you. So I might have difficulty giving you what you want to hear, but I'll give you what you need to hear. So that part is the challenge with doing readings, because I don't do predictions of the future, but I can give you insight of what is best for your highest good. So I don't like to say yes or no of what's going to happen, but it's not something that I'm really drawn to do. So I don't know if that will ever be part of my toolkit to predict future events. Other ways to prepare is if you have crystals, I can work with you and teach you how to use crystals. If you have essential oils, and I sell really awesome blends on my website, purplespiриthealing.com, and you can take a look at the oil blends that I have. So if in the Reiki healing session that you have some chakras that are blocked or closed, then I would probably be recommending you to look at some oils to help you with meditation and opening up those chakras. You can purchase the ones I have, or you can purchase whatever that you feel like you're drawn to. But I enjoy working with crystals, so if you would like to learn more about crystals, I'm going to be doing a video on that next, and the awesome, joyous world of crystals, because I love me some crystals. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Put any questions down in the comments. I'm always happy to have conversations with you. Share this with all your friends. If anybody is thinking about doing readings or curious about what is Reiki, we can talk about that.